Before the video starts, I just want to say, like Nikolai said, that this is indeed my opinion. Nikolai and I are good friends, and I plan for that not to change over one disagreement on one video game. Anyways, enjoy the video. Just so you know that my information is valid, I am level 37 in the game, I am tier 17, I have 2 squad wins, I have played 26 plus hours and more. In this video, I will show you a clip straight from Nikolai's video, that way you know I'm not bending the quotes or anything like that. Anyways, let's jump into the video to defend Fortnite against the haters.
Fortnite Battle Royale is a free-to-play game on PC and Mac, still in beta until
And the stats show that Battle Royale gained over 10 million players in the first 2 weeks. It shows how many people actually enjoy the game.
You can also pay for the co-op, which believe me, I'll get to later in this video.
Well, you don't even own PvE, so I wouldn't recommend really giving an opinion on something you haven't tried. Just because you've seen it doesn't mean that you get to experience it firsthand. Therefore, you shouldn't be giving your input on it, really.
First of all, probably the main reason Fortnite is so bad is mostly because of how boring the game is. It's so freaking boring.
The screenshot at 125 shows that you are, in fact, in the middle of nowhere where no loot would be. No wonder you find the game so boring. Now, you aren't totally wrong. The gameplay can be boring, but only if you make it boring. If you decide to land in the middle of nowhere, like you did, then of course it's going to be boring because no one else is there. Land in a populated place like Retail Row or Pleasant Park, and then you'll get some people to try and kill, and it'll be less boring.
I don't know if it's because of how bland the maps are.
Wait, did you just say maps, like with an S? Oh boy. If you played the game even a little bit, you would really know that there's only one map and there's not multiple.
Or the netcode issues.
Now, I'll be honest, I didn't really know what netcode was until I googled it after watching the video, probably because I've never heard anyone use the term. There's no netcode issues in Fortnite. I don't really know what you're talking about or referring to there. You do later talk about it more, though.
The gameplay in Fortnite is so repetitive after just 10 minutes of playing it.
If you find the game repetitive and boring, I don't know how you can stand COD or Minecraft or, well, any other game for that matter. Like, every other game is repetitive when you think about it. Like, Skywars or COD, you just jump into a round, win or get killed, and do it again. And it's the same thing with Fortnite. So I don't really know why you say it's repetitive and that makes it boring. So
while there are big issues in Call of Duty World War II, such as loot boxes, which Fortnite doesn't even have.
Since I've never played a COD game for more than an hour straight, I don't really know what loot boxes are, but after doing some Googling, I found some answers. It seems that you're referring to loot that's either in-game or cosmetics that you can obtain in the lobby. First of all, the in-game loot is actually in loot boxes. There's 2 different ones. There's either a loot box, at least that's what I call it, that falls from the sky and has awesome stuff in it, such as a legendary sniper or purple scar. Or there's chests hidden throughout buildings and on boats, etc. These include assault rifles, bandages, shield potions, slurp juice, and more. You can even get a legendary from it if you're lucky. If you're talking about cosmetics, the only thing you can really do is buy V-Bucks and buy suits or pickaxes or gliders, etc. I think it would be cool for them to implement a 1000 V-Buck crate that includes 3 items or something.
But starting off with the maps, the maps are not even maps really, they're just humongous fields like in Breath of the Wild.
I don't think that the whole map is a giant field. There are many towns, valleys, mountains, water spaces, forests, etc. Sure, there may be no deserts or anything like that, but the map is not just fields.
Wild, which is a really bad game where you just run around for hours trying to find enemies, build useless stuff, and get boring kills. It's just so...
It's not like Breath of the Wild was rated Game of the Year or anything and scored a 97 on Metacritic. Also, have you even played it?
Funny. You'd be running around for centuries trying to find another player just to die if they shoot you first in the back.
That's one of the most inaccurate statements I've ever heard. I've had many times where I found someone, got the first hit on them, and I end up dying anyways. Just because someone gets the first hit does not mean that they will win the fight. If you build after getting hit, then you maybe wouldn't die. You actually go on to say how building is useless later on in the video.
It's just like in Breath of the Wild, just endless maps. You'll just be running around trying to find people to kill, and you won't even succeed half the time because they'll shoot you in the back while you're at it.
Once again, you're in the middle of nowhere. If you went to places where people actually are, then maybe you could snag a kill or 2. You think that you won't succeed half the time? That's because it takes practice. I can tell by the way you run and break things that you indeed did not play this game long enough to know how to get a kill.
Building the stuff that you do in the game, you build like houses and stuff, that's just completely useless and stupid. I don't even know why they put that in the game.
Building is useless and stupid. I've never heard a pro player say that before. I guess I should take it from someone who's played the game for less than an hour. I can build a house? No, no, no. That is not what building is for. Go watch a Fortnite live stream and then you'll learn a thing or two about the game.
Either way, the map changes and shrinks like every, and it just
Yeah, it helps improve the gameplay so that way it pushes the remaining people together so that they will actually fight. If you made it to the final 25 or 10, you would know this and see a lot more people and get to have a shot at killing a lot more people.
boring MMORPGs.
I already talked about how the building aspect is helpful, so I'll go ahead and skip that. But the MMORPG, sure, this is definitely a role-playing game.
PUBG, that's the game. That's an actual good game.
Of course PUBG is going to be better because it's not free. Considering Fortnite is free and had over 10 million sales in the first 2 weeks, I think that we can clearly see that free is chosen over costly.
Like in Fortnite, just everything about Fortnite is ugly.
It's called an art style. That's like saying, oh, Minecraft doesn't look real, therefore the game looks terrible. Of course it's going to look terrible. If you're going for a realistic look, then of course Minecraft looks terrible. It's just an art style.
You cannot aim without without half your screen being covered by the ugly Fortnite character.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that the character is half your screen.
Everything that stinks about Fortnite is just how unsatisfying it is to shoot.
I don't really know what you mean by how unsatisfying it is to shoot. When I shoot in any other game, I don't have a sigh of relief or anything like that. I don't know how you find satisfaction shooting a gun, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
To shoot, because when you get headshots, you get no feeling that you got a headshot. You're just
I hear some really good noise in my headset. That's enough to satisfy me, as well as the red numbers coming off the character as their dead body slams against the ground.
how overpowered some of the weapons are.
Weapons being too OP, well, that's not exactly true. Each weapon has its ups and downs. An AR does a pretty decent amount of damage, but it's not really a close-range weapon. A shotgun does a ton of damage at close range, but sucks from far away. A sniper can shoot far or close range, but takes forever to reload. It's not necessarily that one gun is better than the other, it's that they all do different things and have different aspects.
Weapons are just so overpowered. There's no skill involved.
Ah, and there it is. See, a lot of skill is involved, you just have to get it. Not saying that you don't already possess it, but you may need more than just skill in your aim and accuracy to win. You need wits about when to build. You need to know to jump repeatedly when you hear a sniper shot. You can't be a god at Call of Duty and come over to Fortnite, not win your first game, and make videos saying how bad it was.
If you got the overpowered weapon, you get the kill.
The whole point is that you need to gain more skill and be smarter. The game is all in the brain. Now, you aren't completely wrong here. I will say the Legendary Scar is probably the best gun in the game, but it's very rare. It's lying around a lot less than a regular AR is. You most likely will get more kills with it, but people can still defend against it. They can sneak up on whoever possesses it and headshot with a shotgun, snipe them, etc.
I don't feel like I accomplished anything. And
If you won the game with 20 plus kills, I think you would feel accomplished. Since you only played the game for 30 minutes, didn't win, and quit, then of course you're going to feel unaccomplished. You need to play more and improve. You had to originally do that with COD, didn't you? You weren't as good as you are now because you improved after playing the game. You can't expect to be the best at the game right away. It takes practice to improve at a game. It took me a whole year to get as good at Minecraft PvP that I am now.
the most annoying part of Fortnite Battle Royale is the cheap netcode. It's probably one of the worst netcodes I've ever seen. It's even worse than a netcode in Infinite Warfare. It's so bad. It's so bland. It's bad. Here, let me talk about it. Yeah. It's actually surprising that we're talking about a cheap netcode when we're talking about a developer known as Epic Games, the developer that made Fortnite, and Epic Games made Unreal Tournament, which is a solid, good first-person shooter, and the netcode is amazing. You gotta shoot shoot upper body, everything about it, just a normal shooter netcode. But in Fortnite, you don't get a good netcode. You get probably one of the worst netcodes I've ever seen, and like I said, there's no skill involved. You see the person, you shoot them first, you get the kill. You have the overpowered weapon, you shoot, you kill. It's boring. It's bland. And I don't get what they were thinking. Like I can probably come up with a better netcode than that. At least have some balance between the weapons, the quantity, when you start shooting everything. You know what I mean?
That was a long clip, but it was for a good reason. I'm confused as to how netcode can be bad. I'm too lazy to research it, so I'll hand you the W on that one, but it's just because I don't know much about it. Also, I don't think you're using the term correctly. You say that there is no balance between the weapons, which has nothing to do with netcode. Netcode, and I quote, is a term most commonly used by gamers when discussing synchronization issues between clients and servers, which I'm pretty sure does not relate to the weapons.
The point, you're running around for a long time just to get shot in the back or shot by some camper. Bam, you're done. Not to mention, you don't even respawn in the game. You go straight to the lobby.
Dude, okay, if you're playing squads or duos, which we can clearly see you are playing by the clip of the lobby you show us, you can be revived. If you stick with your teammate or teammates, you can be revived if you get shot down. But you never even stick with your squad, which shows that you will never get revived. Also, if you get shot down to low health, then you can take cover and bandage up or use a med kit to get back to full health. You can also do that as many times as you like. You basically get infinite lives.
Heck, even the characters, you don't get, much knowledge about the characters.
I don't know what you mean by knowledge. Do you mean their backstory? You don't really need knowledge about the characters. It's kind of irrelevant to the game.
It's so boring. It's so repetitive.
Just like the points in your video?
It's not gonna get any better. Nothing's gonna get fixed.
Actually, I think you meant to say changed. In your opinion, it would be getting fixed, but for others, it would be getting worse. Changed is the correct word to use in that sentence.
Well, you mean check the stats of hardware, of who plays Fortnite. Most of it is PC and Macs.
Yeah, that's because you don't need a good PC to run it. It was a smart idea from the developers, if you ask me. Also, the statistics show that people much rather play a game that takes less of an OP computer to play. Call of Duty World War II sold double as much copies as Infinite Warfare did in the first week. Infinite Warfare sold 1.8 million copies in the first week. Then we doubled that, which gets us about 3.6 million copies. Then doubled again because it's in 2 weeks. That's about 7.2 million copies in the first 2 weeks, which doesn't even really come close to Fortnite's sale of 10 million in the first 2 weeks.
And on console, it's just a bunch of people who wasted $60 on this game. A game that's not even worth.
I'm pretty sure that they did not spend $60 on Battle Royale. Last time I checked, it was free.
But yeah, that's going to conclude the Battle Royale section of this video.
So you were still talking about the Battle Royale portion, which proves my statement correct. Well, that's going to conclude my video overall, because unlike you, I don't talk about something I haven't experienced firsthand. You don't even show us gameplay. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But yeah, I've been Siggy, and I'm out. See you guys later.